Hello there, this is DBT, and these are the Vrooms. And alright, let's continue playing some more Asphalt 8, and today, it's finally time to test Ghost Season. Oh yeah baby, it has been released and we're gonna be trying it. But first, I need to clarify one quick thing, because apparently not everybody got it. So if we go over here into the World Series, you will notice that it says Unlimited Season, which for me this time it is Ghost. But there's a chance that you have just Master Season, because I got some reports that not everybody got this quote Unlimited Season. Instead, they just got regular old Master Season and there's no ghosting over there. However, if I jump in here and I go right here on the information, it gives me the information that the seasonal rule is no collisions. In this mode, your vehicle will not collide with other vehicles throughout the entire race. However, it can still crash into objects on the track or fly off it. So that makes sense. And then these next two pages are just saying that, well, you can use any car and your opponents are based on your league. So basically these two means it's just Master Season with the addition that there's no collisions. So yeah, not everybody apparently got this. I don't know, maybe it's still being tested. I have no idea, but I got it and I gotta make a video on it. So I'm gonna activate some boosters. You can see that I already have done some races with the Vulcan just because I was having fun with it. But I decided to bring the Senna and I'll explain why. So let me activate this and start it up. In the past, when I have made videos on the Senna, I have talked about how this car is a fantastic car. It's beautiful. It sounds, well, it doesn't sound great to be honest, because it's too quiet, hoping that Game Loft one day fixes it, but it looks great and it actually performs really good. It has incredible handling, it has really good nitro. So where does it suffer? Well, it is on the acceleration. So why did I bring that? Well, because over here it doesn't matter. That's right, because there's no collision with anybody, there's no worries about getting knocked down at the start of the race. So suddenly you can start bringing cars that don't necessarily accelerate amazingly, and instead they can perform very well in other means. And honestly, this makes such a huge difference on how I've been playing this season compared to regular season, because suddenly not having to worry about getting knocked down, all it means is that whether you win or lose this race, it has a little bit obviously to do with luck. Where did you start in the race? At the very start of the race, maybe you started on pole position, maybe you started at last. But for the most part, there's a very big focus over here on your skill. And that's not me saying that I'm very skilled or anything. You know that I've always said that I'm a mid player. But what I'm trying to say is that it no longer has to do with, well, were you in an unlucky position where you got knocked down by accident at the start, maybe you were facing against some really aggressive players, and why did this thing do that? See what I'm saying about speed still, about luck still being a thing, but anyway. Yeah, so you no longer have to worry about any of that, you just drive. It's kind of like driving on a TLE where you're just by yourself and, you know, all you gotta worry is about not crashing and managing your nitro, but no longer you have to worry about someone being super aggressive and knocking you down. And just like that with the Senna, a very mid car, a bit of Faraday, and a Arash, well, the Arash is also mid, a Centodieci, and even a Centenario. Now, granted, I'm still at the start of this season, I'm only on this league, so it still remains to be seen how it's gonna be on higher leagues. And by the way, I'm trying really hard to not record my coughing because yes, I am still sick. And I'm still recording for you, so that deserves a like. So hit the like button already, come on, do it for me, do it for DBT. But yeah, I absolutely need to make a video on this, because like I asked in the previous video, I said, hey, do you want me to make a video? And some of you I replied that you wanted me to make a video on this, so I thought, hey, it only makes sense. I think it was only one person who said that didn't want it, but oh well, here we are. But yeah, so I think the very first thing that really makes a difference in this game mode is indeed the fact that cars that don't accelerate amazingly suddenly can actually do something. Because again, the problem with slow acceleration is that you're gonna get knocked down at the start, and also if it has bad recovery and your opponents have really good recovery, then there's also a good chance that they're gonna knock you down in that way. So none of that matters over here, and I absolutely love that, because man, it is just so refreshing to not have to worry about any of that. And I'm so glad that Game Loft did add this. Now in the patch notes, they said that Ghost Season was gonna be where you wouldn't be colliding with other opponents at the start of the race. But maybe the wording was a little bit strange, and what they meant to say is that there's a proper Ghost Season, which is what I'm playing right now, where there's no collisions at all, and maybe in Classic Season, once it finally restarts, because remember, right now, we're in the middle. Oh no, I run out of nitro. I lost just because I run out of nitro. Right now we're in the middle of Classic Season, So maybe once Classic Season restarts, maybe we will get the ghosting only at the start of the race. So there we go. As Pizza beat me, but I did beat a Cyan, so there's that. And a Silver Lightning doesn't count because it wasn't triple boosted. But see what I'm saying about driving cars that maybe didn't have the acceleration, but over here they can do something? When you're not worrying about getting knocked down at any point of the race, all you gotta focus on is on, performing as good as you can. So that's what I'm saying, that this is so interesting to me, and I'm so happy that the not added this mode, because it really makes you play the game in multiplayer in a slightly different way. And to me, this is something that I enjoy a lot, because you know that I'm very much a clean driver in this game, in pretty much any game, or any racing game. I try to be a clean driver, so to me knockdowns have always been something that I really dislike about this game. But anyway, that is the game that it is, and that is just the agreement that I've made the moment that I started playing it. But, oh Jesus Christ, I fell. But having this mode where you don't collide with enemies at all, oh man, it's just so good to me. I love this whole idea. And I really hope that Game of this Indeed gonna continue bringing new rules to Master Season, or whatever it's gonna be called nowadays, where there's, for example, the Ghost. And I do have some other ideas of what else they could do that could be interesting. But I do hope that people are gonna be open to trying all of this and playing it. Right now you can see that there's not a ton of people playing it, but hey, maybe it's because it's early in the season, I have no idea. But I did beat a Faraday and a Silver Lightning, even a Centenario, all of them triple boosted, look at that. Okay, I take it back with not a lot of people playing. Now this race has 12 people in total, so that's gonna be interesting. A lot of people right there. And I hope that this handles it a little bit better than Asphalt 9, because Asphalt 9, when there's a lot of players in Ghost Season, like the game passes out a little bit because there's too much collision that would be not only calculated, but it isn't. I don't know, it's weird. Oh my god, my Senna, it looks different. What happened to my Senna? I'm just kidding, I brought my Muscler. And the reason for that is because this is another one of these mid cars that I do enjoy playing in Classic Season, simply because, you know, I like, actually now that I think about it, I don't think I ever made a pro test of this car, so maybe I still need to do that. But anyway, or maybe I did, I don't know, whatever. The point is that this is not a fantastic car for the same reason, not great acceleration, although overall I would say that it's a slightly worse performer than the Senna overall. I'm gonna go on the right side, which is longer, but at least I get that nitro ball. No worries about getting knocked down though. See, how beautiful is that? But anyway, yeah, this is another mid car that normally I wouldn't be using very much, other than in Master Season, and granted, this is kind of Master Season, but you know what I'm saying. It's still fun to drive, and it sounds fantastic, it looks fantastic. Come on, what's not to like about this car other than the slightly less than average performance? But anyway, so yeah, no, this is why I say that I'm so hyped about this whole thing of ghosting, because Master System to me has always been a playground of bringing weird cars, but now also with having this ghosting, oh man, the possibilities are just endless. But alright, I got beaten by a Cyan and a Faraday, but I did beat this is not triple boosted, I beat a Vision, a Regera, a Silver Lightning, like a Halloween Sport, Centenario, and that's it, because the rest are either unboosted or underranked. Now, as much as I am ogling over the idea of Ghost Season, there's something else to consider, and that is, if they indeed bring the ghosting at the start of the race and only at the start of the race in Classic Season, that is going to be a very interesting shift, maybe a small one, but a shift in the meta. And okay, let me try to explain that. It will be a soft nerf to all of the crazy accelerating cars. Now, why do I say it would be a soft nerf? Because they wouldn't actually touch those cars. You know, it's not like they're gonna touch their acceleration. But one of the, let's call it side effects or side advantages of having insane acceleration in any car in this game is that, well, obviously, the most obvious part is gonna be, well, you accelerate quickly, you get to top speed quickly, so you get ahead of everybody, right? So that makes sense, and I run out of nitro, and now I'm gonna lose. So that makes sense, but the side advantage of having crazy acceleration is knocking other people down at the start of the race. And as I've expressed before, if you get knocked down at the start of the race, there's an incredibly high chance that you're not going to be able to recover throughout the entire race, unless everybody else messes up and crashes and everything. But the general idea is that your race is over from the very beginning. And if they bring the Ghost into Classic Season, then that fear disappears. Now granted, you can still get knocked down further ahead on the race, but suddenly your race is not over in the first 2 seconds of it. And alright, this time I didn't get that great of a result, beaten by a Centenario, Faraday, Regera, and a Racer Tachyon, interesting. But I did beat But only a Centenario. Everybody else on boosted or on the rank. Fair, whatever. Maybe a better way of looking at it, instead of considering a soft nerf to the Crazy Accelerator, it would be like a soft buff to every other car. Because again, it is not that the acceleration of the Crazy Accelerator gets touched, or of the bad accelerators that they suddenly become faster or anything like that. No, it's just the fact that, again, not getting knocked down at the very start of the race is such a big deal. Because, again, if you're driving, and this has happened to everybody, you've been in the receiving end and you've been also the one that dealt it. I've been the same, I've been in both cases, where maybe you're driving a car that, whether it accelerates really fast or not, but if a car that is slower accelerating than you is ahead of you, starts at the front, at the beginning of the race, then even if you try to get out of the way and move to the side so that you don't hit him, maybe he also moved to the side hoping that he wouldn't get hit, and you're gonna hit him anyway, and you're gonna knock him down. And maybe you are the victim in that situation, you're the one that gets knocked down. Like I said, it has happened to everybody in either way. So we've all experienced it, and it is very annoying when at the start of the race, when you're aiming to get some points and whatnot, suddenly you get knocked down by enough fault, or at no fault of your own. How do you say that? For no fault of your own, you know what I'm saying. So the fact that suddenly you don't have to worry about that, then suddenly makes so many other cars that were completely not viable because of the slow acceleration to be, well, at least have a little bit of an opportunity to not just end up in last place because you got knocked down at the start. Oh my god, I just ranked up. Let's go, baby! Yeah, let's go. Come on. Yeah, I know. Oh, look at that. I already unlocked another page, but yeah, there we go. Oh, my dice. Lovely. So, I also took the opportunity of getting out over here. By the way, the rewards remain the same, 500,000 for each, so that's kind of dope. Because I'm going to swap car, but I'm actually not going to show you until we get to the next race. So, are you ready for the surprise? So, what car did I bring? Take a wild guess. Come on, leave it in the comments right now. Comment. Pause the video and comment what car you think I brought. Think about it for a second, and you will figure out what car I brought in Master Season that I've talked about before. And I defend, even though people crap on it. Come on, I know you know. Do it, post it. If you got it right, congratulations. I mean, I'm not gonna heart or pin that, but anyway. The car that I brought is, yes, the Asphalt 10. Oh yeah, baby. You know, I've talked about this car to no end on how, Jesus Christ, I'm trying to defend your car and you make a weird jump. I've defended this car on saying that it's not as bad as people make it out to be. Because yeah, it does have some very not great things like that horrendous drift. But then you can do some punch drift and you can save that. But one thing that has been always weak, it's in the acceleration. But guess what? Again, we're talking about the game mode where the acceleration is not a problem, at least in the sense that you don't get knocked down at the start. So that is absolutely beautiful. Unfortunately, my car decided to be a bit of a rear side of a human being, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. It decided to be a butt head, let's call it that, and do a weird physics things. That's another problem with this car, it does have a little bit of physics issues. But anyway, by now you can no longer buy this car for fusion coins, so it is not as easy to acquire as it was before. It's not as good a deal as it was before, but still, even though you can buy it for about like 90,000 multiplayer coins, it's a relatively okay situation if you're poor on fusion coins or whatever. But okay, I'm not gonna count that race because it just went really bad at the start. Come on, Arash. I brought you here to show off and you do that to me? How dare you, man? How dare you? Now, if you want to get a heart and a pin, you need to leave me the key phrase. But today, you need to leave me the key phrase as I say it. Alright? It needs to be verbatim. So, the key phrase is game loft, comma. Please make a ghost... Oh, Jesus Christ. Let me try that again. Well done, DVT. Here you're trying to be... Okay. Game loft, comma. Please make ghosting at the start of the race a permanent feature in all multiplayer seasons. Period. First person to post that gets a heart, a pin. If you include the entire thing, I'm not gonna... if you include my mistake, I'm not gonna heart you, okay? There we go. I've said it. DVT pretending that he didn't make a mistake. There you go. Oh, come on. I'm fine. So, maybe the Arash is really a bad car because even when I'm trying, I'm getting out of my way to defend it, it decides to do dumb... Look at that jump. What's that jump? Alright, I'm fine. It's alright. Don't worry. I have everything under control. Oh, look at that. Another person is driving in the rush, but that must be an unboosted rush because you saw how I was going faster. So there you go. If you were curious, what is the difference of an unboosted Arash versus a boosted Arash, now you've seen it. Either that or he was without Nitro. But I honestly wasn't paying attention to the exhaust, so I couldn't tell if that was Nitro-ed or not. So, yes. Hey, third place. It's still a podium in spite of the weird physics issue, so... Arash, I'm trying. I'm really trying, but you just won't let me, would you? Alright, so I did beat at least a Faraday Future, and yeah, this was unboosted. Okay, I figured that was the case. Alright, that's fair, whatever. Listen, Arash, I'm trying to make you look good, and you keep on pulling this on me. Come on, let's behave. Let's make a good showing. Oh, I'm recording. Okay, so let's continue doing this and see what amazing results am I gonna get with my Arash. This is a fantastic car that I will defend until the day I die. Okay, maybe not, but hey, you know, it was a good deal for 7 million fusion points. So, alright. To be fair, in this track with the bad drift of this car, it's not gonna be fantastic. But either way, regardless of the performance of the Arash, the whole thing of the ghosting season is something that I'm definitely enjoying. Like I said, it plays different just in the sense that not having to worry about collisions with your enemies, but still having the fun of overtaking them and seeing their frustration and all of that. Oh, it's so beautiful. So I'm really enjoying this, and I do hope that this is here to stay. Not permanently, as I don't want the second multiplayer to always be ghost. Oh, Jesus, I missed a jump. Oh, Jesus Christ. Alright, that was my mistake. It wasn't the car. So I do hope that they're gonna be switching Master Season rules from season to season, and Classic to remain, well, what Classic is already. So I think that would be a fantastic thing, although I would also like that amongst the rule changes for Master Season would be class limitations. Like, hey, this time you can only drive Class B cars, and if you don't own any, we're gonna lend you one bad car. Pro'd out, lent, but so that, you know, people that don't have it, they can still compete. But for people that do have the what was that jump? Okay, whatever. For people that do have Class B cars, in my example, let's say rank of the, or rather bracket of 1860, 1680, excuse me. Yeah, you can use that, but if you don't own that, well, here you go. We'll lend you this other car at Pro, so enjoy. I think that would be a good idea, but what do you think about that? Let me know in the comments if you like that idea or not. I still want to make a video where I talk about these ideas that I have for additional rules for Master Season, but overall, I'm really glad that this is here, implemented, and I, again, do hope that Gameloft makes the ghosting at the start of the ghosting at the start of the races permanent. But that's all. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and stay safe, and subscribe. Bye-bye.